How was training today?
It was a good training. Yeah, short and sharp, a travel day. So it's about compensating the load from the last 2 days, as always on this day, but still making sure that there's enough intensity that we're ready for the game.
What do you take from the last game? You're not going to be able to win every game 5-0 or by a 5-score margin, but what do you take from it?
What we take from it is when we show discipline and commitment for our structure, our principles, the game plan, and our effort, that you always have a better chance of winning than not.
And your optimism for getting a win?
Yeah, I am always optimistic because we play to win. So it's in our DNA to go after the game, to score goals and to press aggressively because, we've said it, we're here to win. But how we win and who we win with matters. So it's all week preparing ourselves as well as possible to really understand our DNA, to make sure that it's inside our habits, and then know that we can compete better and better every week, the better we get at that.
You get a small sample size of seeing you guys out here, but you might have been a little more vocal today, at least in the early going. Is that true? Is that maybe by design?
Yeah, we've been working on some things, and I don't know. I think I fluctuate up and down. There's some days I'm quite quiet, and other days I think you probably got to ask other people. But today was definitely one of the days that I was louder earlier on. I just love training. I love football, so I guess.
Because of how you were feeling today, or do you think the club maybe needed a little push early?
Yeah, I don't know if I can separate those two because we're all in this together. You know what I mean? We all want to win. Everybody here is really committed to that and committed to making sure that we are a reflection of the community and that we have a great style of play. But I think I'm just passionate, and I love training. I love football.
And you know St. Louis, you saw them in your home opener. They don't really have a whole lot of interest in scoring so much as they do in keeping you from scoring. Learning from that experience, what have you been telling you guys this week to find a way to break through there on their pitch?
Yeah, just cueing in on some keys that we think could help us open up the space against that back line of five. Making sure that we're really alert in our possession because they'll look to counterattack you, and that's something that we've been working on. How do we defend those ball loss moments? And then when you have a team low, if you can have a good counter press, you can actually create chances from your ball loss because you can catch an opponent maybe in between attacking and defending.
I'll see the floor to Juliana.
What language do you guys mainly speak while practicing and during games?
So we mainly speak English, and then I would say the next most spoken language is Spanish.
And how do you become an MLS head coach?
Wow, that's a very good question.
That's a big one.
I would attribute it to a few things. I have a passion for football and for coaching, so that helped me a lot. So I had a big motivation. I think I worked really hard, and I think I was fortunate enough to meet a lot of people who either supported me along the way or gave me opportunities.
And how has it helped you being on both the player side and now the coaching side of football?
So, I didn't really play at a high level. I played in college, so I was a college player. But these guys are way beyond what I did as a player. But I loved playing the game, so I always try to put myself in the player's shoes and try to understand how they're feeling because it's important that I just don't think about things as a coach.
And how does it feel to represent San Diego?
Yeah, it's an honor of a lifetime, and then it feels like a massive responsibility too, to make everybody proud, especially all of those people who have lived here, either born and raised or have moved here and really feel the city as their own.
And branching off one of her brilliant questions, the fact that you didn't play or get to as high a level as the players that you're now coaching, how do you coach with confidence that you can coach guys who advanced further in the game than you did?
Life is so nonlinear, and I think everybody's path is different, right? So there's a lot of coaches who came and their foundation was from a playing career, and there was others that didn't, and our foundation was coaching education, traveling, studying. And then ultimately, all of our paths end up converging, right? And we learn a lot from the players once we hit certain levels, if you're in my path. And past players learn a lot from coaching educators and maybe guys who didn't play so much on towards the end of their path. So it's just different paths.
Very cool. And one other question about Saturday's game. What do you take from the first matchup against St. Louis and do differently or do the same?
They're just a really organized team. They have very good players. They're well coached. They're very committed to keeping clean sheets. And then they actually have a lot of quality if you're not careful in terms of counterattacking. So we want to take care of the ball. We want to have longer attacks. We want to make sure we're finishing actions on the goal or in behind their back line, and then making sure our counter pressing and our pressing is well organized and intense.
What have you seen out of Milan that you like?
Milan is a technical player, smart player. Obviously, he's homegrown, so he feels the project a lot, and he has a lot to still show and to improve. But at the same time, he got a nice goal in the last game, and that's a big impact, and that matters.
With 3 games in 7 days, how does your approach change with the schedule?
We just have to keep an eye on how guys recover from game to game. We don't have any planned rotations, or we'll put the team out that we feel will give us the best chances of winning. That might be meaning resting guys, but I just don't know what that even looks like yet, and we won't know until we get back after this game.
So all your healthy guys are full go for Saturday?
Andres and Marcus are still out, and then Alex, he fell on his shoulder. We made the sub at halftime. It's nothing serious, but it's probably going to keep him out for 1 game.
Let's kind of wrap this all up then. A little bit of philosophy as well. From a coaching perspective, when you see Milan get his first goal, Oscar make his debut, do you feel pride for them? Because from almost like a almost fatherly figure type of thing, or happy that they're helping the team that you're now coaching?
Yeah, I said I love football and I love being part of a team, and they're part of our team. So I look at it more like a partnership versus a paternal relationship. And so for me, I'm always able to be really happy for the individual, but more than anything, there's just nothing better than when a bunch of individuals come together and form a team that's successful.
Cool. Thanks, Coach.
I'm 9 and this is my first year in competitive soccer. I'm finding my place on the field. Any tips and tricks to get better as a goalie and not to be scared of the ball flying out?
Okay, great question.
Playing on the field.
Yeah. Well, the first question is, do you like playing?
Yes.
Yeah? You love it?
Yes.
All right, so that's already a good start. Make sure that you continue to love it, because passion will get you through, of course, the good times, but definitely the harder times. And then what I would always recommend to young players is to be a really great teammate, no matter if you're playing or not. Just always be positive and cheerful, and make sure you're helping your teammates all the time, helping your coaches. Make sure you're open to feedback. So when your coaches or even your teammates give you feedback, be really, really open, even if you made a big mistake, because sometimes it can feel like you want to defend yourself, but it's not worth it. And then the last thing is to love competition. And competing is the most important thing. So of course winning feels nicer than losing, but the just love to compete, and whether you win or lose, love the actual competing part of it. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. High five. Great job.
Hello, everybody.
Forward, Milani Losky. You guys want to get started?